Hello, my beautiful friends. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now, wherever you are. Let that breath fill your lungs completely. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to settle into this moment. You are here because something inside you is calling for more health, more abundance, more joy in your life. And I want you to know that this calling is not an accident. It's your inner wisdom speaking to you, guiding you toward the life you were meant to live. There's something so sacred about this moment when you decide to pause and listen to what your heart is telling you. Maybe you've been struggling with your health, feeling tired or disconnected from your body. Perhaps money has been a source of stress, and you find yourself worrying about bills or feeling like there's never enough. Or maybe happiness feels elusive, like it's always just out of reach, dependent on circumstances that seem beyond your control. If any of this feels familiar, I want you to know that you're not alone, and more importantly, you're not stuck. For so many years, I carried the belief that life was something that happened to me, rather than something I could actively participate in creating. I believed that my circumstances defined my possibilities, that my past determined my future, and that change was something reserved for other people. But life has taught me something beautiful and transformative. We have far more power than we realize to shape our experience of being alive. The words we speak to ourselves, the thoughts we choose to entertain, the beliefs we hold about what's possible for us. These are not just abstract concepts floating around in our minds. They are creative forces that literally shape our reality. When you wake up in the morning and the first thought that crosses your mind is worry about your health, or anxiety about money, or a feeling that happiness is somehow not meant for you, you're actually setting the tone for your entire day. You're programming your nervous system, your immune system, and your ability to recognize and receive the good that wants to come into your life. But here's what I want you to understand. If you have the power to create limitation and struggle through your thoughts and words, you also have the power to create healing, abundance, and joy. The same mechanism that can work against you can work for you. It's simply a matter of learning how to redirect this incredible creative force that lives within you. When I say align with health, wealth, and happiness, I'm not talking about some magical formula or wishful thinking. I'm talking about coming into harmony with the natural state of your being. You see, health is your birthright, abundance is your birthright, joy is your birthright. These are not prizes you have to earn or prove yourself worthy of receiving. They are the natural expression of who you are when you remove the blocks and barriers that keep you separated from them. Think about a plant growing in your garden. That plant doesn't struggle to grow or worry about whether it deserves sunlight and water. It simply opens to receive what it needs and grows naturally toward the light. You have that same capacity within you. You have an innate ability to grow, to heal, to prosper, and to experience deep contentment and joy. But sometimes, just like a plant can be blocked by weeds or rocks, our natural capacity for well-being can be blocked by old thoughts, inherited beliefs, and patterns we learned long ago. The beautiful thing is that once you understand how this works, you can begin to clear away those blocks. You can learn to speak to yourself in a way that supports your growth rather than limiting it. You can discover how to think thoughts that heal rather than thoughts that harm. And you can develop practices that align you with the health, wealth, and happiness that are already yours by divine right. Throughout our time together, we're going to explore exactly how to do this. We're going to look at the connection between your inner world and your outer experience, and we're going to give you practical tools that you can use right away to begin shifting your life in the direction of your dreams. But for now, I want you to simply open your heart to the possibility that things can be different for you, that healing is possible, that abundance is possible, that happiness is possible. Not because you'll finally deserve it someday, but because you deserve it right now, simply because you exist. Now let's talk about something that might be the most important thing you'll ever understand. Your inner world creates your outer world. This isn't just a nice spiritual concept or positive thinking philosophy. This is how life actually works. Everything you see in your external experience, your health, your financial situation, your relationships, your level of happiness, all of it is a reflection of what's happening inside your mind and heart. When I first learned this, I have to admit, part of me resisted it. Because if my outer world was a reflection of my inner world, that meant I had to take responsibility for things I didn't like about my life. It meant I couldn't blame my circumstances, my past, or other people for my problems. But once I got past that initial resistance, I realized what a gift this understanding truly is. Because if your inner world creates your outer world, that means you have the power to change your life by changing what's happening inside you. Your thoughts are like seeds. Every thought you think, every word you speak to yourself, every belief you hold is like planting a seed in the garden of your consciousness. And just like seeds in a physical garden, these mental and emotional seeds will grow and produce a harvest in your life. If you plant seeds of worry, fear, and limitation, you'll harvest experiences that match those energies. But if you plant seeds of love, gratitude, and possibility, you'll harvest experiences that reflect those higher vibrations. The challenge is that most of us are unconscious gardeners. We plant seeds all day long without paying attention to what we're planting. We wake up and immediately start thinking the same thoughts we thought yesterday, speaking to ourselves in the same old ways, believing the same old stories about what's possible for us. And then we wonder why our lives feel stuck, or why the same problems keep showing up over and over again. But consciousness changes everything. When you become aware of what's happening in your inner world, you can begin to make different choices. You can catch yourself when you're about to plant a seed of limitation and choose to plant a seed of possibility instead. You can notice when you're speaking to yourself in a harsh, critical way and choose to speak with kindness and encouragement. You can recognize when you're operating from old beliefs that no longer serve you and choose to embrace new beliefs that support your growth and happiness. This process isn't about denying your feelings or pretending that problems don't exist. It's about recognizing that you have choices in how you respond to life and that these choices have power. When you change your internal response to life, life responds differently to you. When you change your relationship with yourself, your relationship with everything else begins to shift as well. One of the most profound ways this shows up is in the connection between your thoughts and your emotions. Your emotions are not random events that happen to you. They are direct responses to your thoughts. When you think a loving thought about yourself, you feel good. When you think a critical thought about yourself, you feel bad. This might seem obvious, but so many of us walk around feeling bad without realizing that we're the ones creating those feelings through our thought patterns. The beautiful thing about understanding this connection is that it gives you a way to change how you feel. Instead of waiting for external circumstances to change before you can feel better, you can feel better by choosing thoughts that generate good feelings. And when you feel better, you naturally make choices that support your well-being. You're more likely to eat foods that nourish your body, to speak up for yourself in relationships, to take actions that move you toward your goals. Feeling good isn't just pleasant, it's practical. It's how you align yourself with the experiences you want to have. Let's talk about your beautiful body, this amazing vessel that carries you through life and makes all of your experiences possible. Your body is not separate from your mind or your emotions. It's intimately connected to every thought you think and every feeling you feel. When you understand this connection, you discover that healing isn't just about what you put in your body or what treatments you receive. It's also about how you think about your body and speak to your body. For so many years, I had a very adversarial relationship with my body. I saw it as something that betrayed me, something that got sick or didn't look the way I thought it should. I spoke to my body with criticism and impatience. I treated it like an enemy rather than a friend. And my body responded to that treatment by becoming more and more unwell. It wasn't until I learned to change my relationship with my body that real healing became possible. Your body is always listening to what you're thinking and saying about it. When you look in the mirror and think critical thoughts about your appearance, your body feels that criticism. When you worry about getting sick or focus on everything that's wrong with your health, your body feels that worry and fear. Your immune system, your nervous system, every cell in your body is constantly responding to the mental and emotional environment you create through your thoughts and feelings. But the opposite is also true. When you speak to your body with love and appreciation, when you send it thoughts of healing and well-being, when you treat it as the sacred temple that houses your spirit, your body responds to that love. Your cells actually function better when they're bathed in loving energy. Your immune system becomes stronger when you think thoughts that support your health rather than thoughts that undermine it. This doesn't mean that positive thinking alone will cure every illness or that you should ignore medical care when you need it. It means that your mental and emotional state is a crucial component of your overall health and healing. When you combine loving thoughts with appropriate medical care, with good nutrition, with movement and rest, with all the things that support physical well-being, you create the optimal conditions for your body to heal and thrive. One of the most powerful things you can do for your health is to begin speaking to your body as you would speak to a beloved friend. Instead of criticizing your body for being tired, you might say, "Thank you for working so hard. Let's rest now." Instead of being angry at your body for being in pain, you might say, "I hear that you're hurting. Let's find ways to bring you comfort and healing." Instead of focusing on everything that's wrong with your health, you might focus on everything that's working well, appreciating your heart for beating, your lungs for breathing, your stomach for digesting your food. This shift in how you relate to your body might feel awkward at first, especially if you've been in the habit of being critical or worried about your health. But I want you to try it anyway. Start small. Pick one part of your body and spend a few moments each day sending it love and appreciation. Notice how it feels to speak kindly to your body instead of harshly. Pay attention to how your body responds when you treat it as a friend rather than an enemy. Your body wants to be healthy. It's designed to heal and regenerate and maintain itself in a state of well-being. But it needs your cooperation. It needs you to provide it with loving thoughts and feelings along with good food and clean water and adequate rest. It needs you to see it not as a burden or a problem to be solved, but as a miraculous gift that allows you to experience the joy and beauty of being alive. When you give your body this kind of love and support, it will surprise you with its capacity to heal and feel good. Now let's turn our attention to another area where so many beautiful souls struggle: your relationship with money and abundance. I know this might bring up some uncomfortable feelings for you. Money is one of those topics that can trigger all kinds of emotions: fear, shame, guilt, anger, frustration. If you're feeling any of that right now, just breathe and know that whatever you're feeling is okay. These feelings are often signs that you've been carrying some heavy beliefs about money that no longer serve you. Most of us learned our money beliefs when we were very young, often from people who were themselves struggling with scarcity and limitation. Maybe you heard things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "Rich people are greedy," or "We can't afford that," or "Money is the root of all evil." These statements might have been said with good intentions, perhaps to teach you to be responsible or to help you cope with difficult financial circumstances, but they often plant seeds of limitation in your consciousness that continue to grow throughout your life. When you believe that money is scarce, that you don't deserve abundance, or that wanting financial prosperity makes you selfish or materialistic, you actually block the flow of abundance in your life. You might find yourself working very hard, but never getting ahead financially. You might notice that just when things start to improve, something happens to bring you back to struggle. You might feel guilty when you spend money on yourself, or anxious when bills come in the mail, or resentful toward people who seem to have financial ease. But here's what I want you to understand. Abundance is your natural state. The universe is infinitely abundant. There's enough air for everyone to breathe, enough love for everyone to share, enough creativity for everyone to express, and yes, enough prosperity for everyone to enjoy. Scarcity is not a universal law. It's a belief system that we've collectively agreed to participate in. And just as you learn to believe in limitation, you can learn to believe in abundance. Money at its core is simply energy. It's a tool for exchange, a way of sharing resources and creating value in the world. When you think about money as energy rather than as a scarce commodity that you have to fight for or hoard, your relationship with it begins to change. Energy flows, it moves, it circulates. And when you align yourself with the flow of abundance rather than trying to grab and hold on to money from a place of fear, you open yourself to receive in ways that might surprise you. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is to begin focusing on what you're grateful for rather than what you lack. When you wake up in the morning and your first thoughts are about not having enough money to pay your bills, you're actually programming your consciousness to notice and attract more experiences of not having enough. But when you wake up and your first thoughts are appreciation for the roof over your head, the food in your refrigerator, the clothes in your closet, the people who love you, you're programming your consciousness to notice and attract more experiences of abundance. This doesn't mean pretending that financial challenges don't exist or that you shouldn't take practical action to improve your financial situation. It means changing the energy you bring to those actions. When you look for a job from a place of desperation and fear, you carry that energy into interviews and interactions. When you look for a job from a place of knowing your worth and trusting that the right opportunity will appear, you carry a completely different energy that naturally attracts better outcomes. Start paying attention to how you speak about money throughout your day. Do you say things like, "I can't afford that," or "money is tight," or "I'm broke"? These statements might feel true in the moment, but they're actually affirmations that reinforce lack and limitation. You can begin to shift this by choosing words that open you to possibility. Instead of "I can't afford that," try "I'm choosing to spend my money differently right now." Instead of "I'm broke," try "I'm in a growth period with my finances." Instead of "money is tight," try "I'm learning to manage my resources wisely." Another beautiful way to shift your money consciousness is to begin giving, even if it's just a small amount. When you give from a place of love and generosity, you're affirming that you have enough to share. You're participating in the flow of abundance rather than trying to hoard what you have from fear of not having enough. This might mean putting $1 in a charity box, or buying coffee for the person behind you in line, or simply giving someone a genuine compliment. The amount doesn't matter, the energy matters. True wealth isn't just about having money in your bank account. True wealth includes good health, loving relationships, meaningful work, creative expression, inner peace, and a sense of purpose and fulfillment. When you focus only on money, you miss so many other forms of abundance that are already present in your life. But when you cultivate appreciation for all the ways you're already wealthy, you create space for financial abundance to flow into your life as well. Let's talk about happiness, sweet one, because this might be the most important conversation we can have. So many people are waiting for happiness to arrive from somewhere outside themselves. They think they'll be happy when they lose weight, or when they find the right relationship, or when they get a better job, or when they have more money. But happiness that depends on external circumstances is fragile and temporary. Real happiness, lasting happiness, comes from within. You have a happiness that lives inside you that no external circumstance can touch. It's not dependent on everything going perfectly in your life. It's not dependent on other people behaving the way you want them to behave. It's not dependent on achieving all your goals or fixing all your problems. This inner happiness is your birthright, your natural state, the joy that emerges when you remember who you really are beneath all the stories and struggles and complications of daily life. But accessing this inner happiness requires a shift in how you think about happiness itself. Many of us have been taught that happiness is something we have to earn, or that it's selfish to be happy when there's suffering in the world, or that being happy means we're not taking our problems seriously enough. These beliefs actually keep us separate from the joy that wants to flow through us naturally. Happiness is not a luxury or an indulgence. It's a choice you make moment by moment throughout your day. It's a decision to focus on what's working in your life rather than what's broken. It's a commitment to treat yourself with kindness rather than criticism. It's a willingness to find beauty and goodness even in the midst of challenges. This doesn't mean denying problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means recognizing that you can feel grateful and hopeful and joyful even while you're working to improve circumstances that need changing. One of the biggest blocks to happiness is the belief that you have to be perfect before you can feel good about yourself. You might think you'll be happy when you finally have your life together, when you stop making mistakes, when you become the person you think you should be. But perfectionism is the enemy of happiness. It keeps you focused on everything that's wrong with you and your life instead of celebrating everything that's right. You are perfectly imperfect exactly as you are right now. Your struggles don't make you broken. Your mistakes don't make you unworthy. Your challenges don't disqualify you from experiencing joy. In fact, it's often through our difficulties that we develop compassion, wisdom, and resilience. Your entire journey, including the parts you wish were different, has contributed to making you the unique and beautiful person you are today. Happiness also comes from learning to be your own best friend. Notice how you speak to yourself throughout the day. Are you encouraging and supportive, or are you critical and harsh? Would you speak to a good friend the way you speak to yourself? Most of us are much kinder to others than we are to ourselves, but you're the one person you'll be with for your entire life. Learning to treat yourself with the same love and compassion you'd show to someone you care about is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Small moments of joy are available to you every single day if you're willing to notice them. The warmth of sunlight on your face, the taste of your morning coffee or tea, the sound of laughter, the feeling of clean sheets, the smile of a stranger, the wagging tail of a dog, a beautiful song on the radio. These simple pleasures are free gifts from life, but they can only bring you happiness if you're present enough to receive them. Happiness is also deeply connected to gratitude. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you naturally feel more content and joyful. This isn't about forcing yourself to be grateful for things that genuinely hurt or upset you. It's about training your attention to notice the good that's already present in your life alongside whatever challenges you're facing. You can feel grateful for your ability to walk while also feeling frustrated that you're not in better shape. You can feel grateful for your family while also feeling challenged by some of the dynamics in your relationships. Gratitude doesn't require everything to be perfect. It simply requires you to acknowledge the gifts that are present even in the midst of difficulties. The words you speak and the thoughts you think throughout each day have tremendous power to shape your experience of life. Every word is an affirmation of what you believe to be true about yourself and your world. When you say, "I always get sick this time of year," you're affirming illness. When you say, "I never have enough money," you're affirming lack. When you say, "Nothing good ever happens to me," you're affirming limitation. These might feel like innocent statements about your experience, but they're actually programming your subconscious mind to create more of what you're affirming. Your subconscious mind doesn't judge your thoughts or analyze whether they're helpful or harmful. It simply accepts what you tell it and works to make your beliefs come true in your experience. This is why it's so important to become conscious of the internal dialogue that runs through your mind all day long. Most of the time, we're not even aware of what we're thinking. We're on autopilot, thinking the same thoughts we thought yesterday, which creates the same experiences we had yesterday. But when you begin to pay attention to your thoughts and words, you can start to catch yourself when you're about to plant a seed of limitation and choose to plant a seed of possibility instead. This takes practice because old thought patterns are like well-worn paths in your mind. It's easy to slip back into familiar ways of thinking, even when you know they don't serve you. But every time you choose a loving thought over a fearful thought, every time you choose an empowering word over a limiting word, you're creating new pathways in your consciousness that will eventually become your new normal. The way you talk to yourself when you first wake up in the morning sets the tone for your entire day. If your first thoughts are worry about everything you have to do, or dread about facing another difficult day, or criticism about how you look or feel, you're programming your nervous system for stress and struggle. But if your first thoughts are appreciation for the gift of a new day, or excitement about possibilities that might unfold, or love and acceptance for yourself exactly as you are, you're programming your system for ease and joy. Similarly, the thoughts you think before you go to sleep at night program your subconscious mind while you sleep. If you go to bed reviewing everything that went wrong during the day, or worrying about tomorrow's challenges, or criticizing yourself for mistakes you made, you're asking your subconscious to spend the night focusing on problems and limitations. But if you go to sleep thinking about what you're grateful for, or acknowledging yourself for things you did well, or setting positive intentions for tomorrow, you're asking your subconscious to spend the night focusing on possibilities and solutions. This doesn't mean you have to be positive all the time or that you should never acknowledge difficulties. It means becoming more intentional about the mental and emotional diet you feed yourself throughout the day. Just as you wouldn't eat junk food for every meal and expect to feel physically vibrant, you can't fill your mind with junk thoughts and expect to feel emotionally and spiritually vibrant. You have the power to choose thoughts that nourish you rather than thoughts that deplete you. One of the most transformative practices you can develop is the habit of speaking to yourself as you would speak to someone you love unconditionally. When you make a mistake, instead of calling yourself stupid or lazy, you might say, "It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. Let's learn from this and move forward." When you're feeling discouraged, instead of telling yourself you'll never succeed, you might say, "This is challenging right now, but I believe in your ability to figure this out." When you're struggling with your health or your finances or your relationships, instead of telling yourself you're a failure, you might say, "You're doing the best you can with what you know right now, and that's enough." Now let's explore some beautiful, practical ways you can begin aligning yourself with health, wealth, and happiness starting right now, today. These aren't complicated techniques that require years of study or special equipment. They're simple practices that you can weave into your daily life, and they have the power to create profound shifts in how you feel and what you experience. One of the most powerful practices I can share with you is mirror work. This might feel uncomfortable at first, and that's perfectly okay. Most of us have learned to avoid really looking at ourselves, especially when we're feeling challenged or when we're working through difficult emotions. But your mirror can become one of your greatest teachers and healers when you learn to use it with love and intention. Find a quiet moment when you won't be interrupted and stand in front of a mirror. Look into your own eyes. Really look. See if you can soften your gaze and look at yourself with the same tenderness you would show to a beloved child or dear friend. Notice what comes up for you. Do you feel the urge to look away? Do you immediately start noticing things you don't like about your appearance? Do you feel silly or self-conscious? Just observe whatever happens without judgment. Now, while looking into your own eyes, speak to yourself with love. You might start with something simple like, "Hello, beautiful," or "I see you," or "I love you." If those words feel too difficult right now, you might begin with, "I'm willing to love you," or "I'm learning to be kind to you." The goal isn't to force yourself to feel something you don't feel. The goal is to practice treating yourself with gentleness and respect. You can use mirror work to address specific areas where you want to create change. If you're working on your health, you might look in the mirror and say, "My body is healing and getting stronger every day." Or, "I treat my body with love and respect." Or, "Every cell in my body vibrates with health and vitality." If you're working on abundance, you might say, "I am open to receiving all the good that life has to offer." Or, "Money flows to me easily and effortlessly." Or, "I deserve to live in comfort and ease." If you're working on happiness, you might say, "I choose joy." Or, "I am worthy of love and happiness." Or, "Good things happen to me all the time." The key is to speak these words while looking into your own eyes, really connecting with yourself. Your eyes are windows to your soul, and when you speak loving words while making that deep connection, you're programming those words directly into your subconscious mind. You might notice resistance at first. You might hear that critical voice in your head saying, "This is silly," or "You don't really mean this," or "Nothing will change." That's just your old programming trying to keep you stuck in familiar patterns. Keep going anyway. With practice, mirror work becomes easier and more natural, and you'll begin to see yourself through eyes of love rather than eyes of criticism. Another transformative practice is developing a daily gratitude routine. Gratitude is like a magnet for good experiences. When you focus on what you appreciate in your life, you naturally attract more things to appreciate. But gratitude isn't just about making lists of what you're thankful for, although that can certainly be helpful. It's about cultivating a genuine feeling of appreciation that fills your heart and changes your entire vibration. You might begin each morning by thinking of 3 things you're grateful for before you even get out of bed. Let yourself really feel the appreciation, not just think it. Maybe you're grateful for the comfortable bed you slept in, or the fact that you have another day to experience life, or the people who love you. Throughout the day, look for small things to appreciate: the taste of your lunch, the helpfulness of a store clerk, the beauty of flowers blooming, the feeling of warm water on your hands when you wash dishes. The more you practice noticing what's good in your life, the more good you'll find to notice. You can also practice gratitude for things that haven't happened yet, but that you're calling into your life. Thank the universe for the perfect job that's on its way to you. Feel grateful for the healing that's already beginning in your body. Appreciate the love that's flowing toward you, even if you can't see it yet. This isn't about pretending things are different than they are. It's about aligning yourself with the energy of what you want to experience. Breathing practices are another simple but powerful tool for creating alignment. Your breath is always available to you, and it has the ability to shift your entire state of being in just a few moments. When you're feeling stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, your breathing becomes shallow and rapid. But when you consciously slow down and deepen your breath, you signal to your nervous system that it's safe to relax. Try this simple breathing practice. Breathe in slowly for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 4, then breathe out slowly for a count of 4. Repeat this pattern several times, allowing your body to relax with each exhale. As you breathe, you might silently repeat words of healing, abundance, and joy. On the inhale, you might think, "I breathe in peace and love." On the exhale, you might think, "I release all tension and fear." This practice helps clear your mind, calm your emotions, and open your heart to receive the good that wants to come into your life. Journaling is another beautiful way to dialogue with your inner wisdom and create positive change in your life. You don't have to be a good writer or fill pages and pages. Even spending 5 or 10 minutes writing down your thoughts and feelings can help you process emotions, gain clarity, and connect with your deeper knowing about what you need and want. You might use your journal to explore your beliefs about health, money, and happiness. Write about where these beliefs came from and whether they still serve you. You might use your journal to set intentions for how you want to feel and what you want to experience. You might write letters to your body, thanking it for all it does for you and asking what it needs to feel its best. You might write about your dreams and goals, not just what you want to achieve, but how you want to feel when you achieve it. Now let's talk about how health, wealth, and happiness work together to create a life of true fulfillment and joy. These 3 aspects of well-being aren't separate, isolated goals that you have to pursue independently. They're interconnected parts of a whole, and when you nurture one area, it naturally supports and enhances the others. When your body feels good, you have more energy and enthusiasm for pursuing your goals and dreams. You're more likely to take actions that create abundance in your life when you feel physically strong and vibrant. You're more able to enjoy the money you earn and the experiences it can provide when your health allows you to fully participate in life. Good health gives you the foundation for everything else you want to create. Similarly, when you feel financially secure and abundant, it reduces stress in your life, which directly benefits your physical health. You're more likely to eat nutritious food, get adequate rest, and seek medical care when you need it if money isn't a constant source of worry. Financial ease also gives you more freedom to pursue activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, which contributes to your overall happiness and well-being. And when you feel genuinely happy and content, you make better choices for your health. You're more likely to treat your body with love and respect when you love and respect yourself. Happy people tend to attract more opportunities for abundance because they carry an energy that others want to be around. Joy is magnetic. It draws good experiences and good people into your life naturally. Creating balance between these 3 areas doesn't mean you have to work on everything at once or achieve perfection in all areas before you can feel satisfied with your life. It means paying attention to all 3 and noticing when one area needs more focus or care. Maybe you've been so focused on building your career that you've neglected your health. Maybe you've been so worried about money that you've forgotten to make time for simple pleasures that bring you joy. Maybe you've been so busy taking care of everyone else that you've lost touch with what makes you feel vibrant and alive. Part of creating this balance is learning to listen to your inner guidance about what you need most in any given moment. Sometimes your body will tell you that you need rest, even when your mind thinks you should be working. Sometimes your heart will tell you that you need to play or create or connect with loved ones, even when you think you should be focused on practical matters. Sometimes your intuition will guide you toward opportunities that don't make logical sense, but that feel right for your growth and happiness. When challenges arise, and they will, remember that setbacks are not failures. They're opportunities to practice the tools you're learning and to discover how resilient and resourceful you really are. If you get sick, it's a chance to practice speaking lovingly to your body and supporting its healing. If you face financial difficulties, it's an opportunity to practice trusting in your ability to create solutions and to look for the gifts and lessons in the experience. If you go through a period of sadness or stress, it's a chance to practice treating yourself with compassion and to remember that difficult emotions are temporary visitors, not permanent residents. Building sustainable habits that support your well-being doesn't require dramatic changes or perfect consistency. It requires small, loving actions that you can realistically maintain over time. Maybe you start by drinking an extra glass of water each day, or taking a 5-minute walk, or writing down one thing you're grateful for. Maybe you begin by saying one kind thing to yourself in the mirror each morning, or putting $1 in a jar each week to save for something special. The key is to start where you are with what feels manageable and to build from there. Your transformation doesn't happen overnight, and that's actually a beautiful thing. Gradual, sustainable change allows you to integrate new ways of being without overwhelming your system. It gives you time to adjust to new levels of health, abundance, and happiness. It allows you to become comfortable with success and joy so that you don't unconsciously sabotage yourself when good things start happening. Be patient with yourself as you learn these new ways of thinking and being. You're literally rewiring your brain and creating new neural pathways. You're releasing old patterns that may have been with you for decades and replacing them with patterns that serve your highest good. This takes time, practice, and lots of self-compassion. There will be days when you forget to use your tools, when you slip back into old patterns of thinking, when you feel discouraged about your progress. This is all part of the journey. What matters is that you keep coming back to love, keep choosing thoughts and words that support you, keep treating yourself as the precious being you are. Celebrate every small victory along the way. Notice when you catch yourself thinking a loving thought instead of a critical one. Acknowledge when you choose to rest instead of pushing through exhaustion. Appreciate when you spend money on something that brings you joy without feeling guilty. Recognize when you handle a challenging situation with more grace than you would have in the past. These moments of growth and healing deserve to be celebrated, even if they seem small or insignificant. Trust your own inner wisdom to guide you toward what you need most. You have an innate knowing about what supports your well-being and what depletes it. You know when something feels right for you and when it doesn't. You know when you're pushing too hard and when you're not challenging yourself enough. This inner guidance is always available to you, but you have to create quiet moments to listen to it and trust what you hear. Surround yourself with people who support your growth and happiness. Seek out friends, family members, or communities where you can be authentic about your journey and receive encouragement when you need it. Distance yourself from people who consistently drain your energy or discourage your dreams. You deserve to be surrounded by love, support, and positive energy as you create positive changes in your life. Remember that your journey is unique to you. Don't compare your progress to anyone else's progress or try to follow someone else's timeline for transformation. Your challenges are specific to your experience, and your healing will unfold in its own perfect way in time. What matters is that you stay committed to your own growth and continue choosing love over fear, possibility over limitation, hope over despair. As we come to the end of our time together, I want you to feel into your heart and sense the truth of what I'm about to tell you. You are so much more powerful than you realize. You have everything within you right now to create a life filled with health, abundance, and joy. You don't have to wait until you're perfect or until your circumstances change or until you figure everything out. You can begin right now, in this moment, with whatever is in front of you. The words you speak to yourself today will shape tomorrow's experiences. The thoughts you choose to focus on today will influence how you feel tomorrow. The love you give to yourself today will expand and touch every area of your life tomorrow. You have the power to heal your body through loving thoughts and nurturing actions. You have the power to create abundance through shifting your beliefs and opening your heart to receive. You have the power to experience deep happiness by choosing to see yourself and your life through eyes of love and appreciation. Take a moment right now to connect with your breath and feel into your heart. Feel the life force flowing through your body, the intelligence that beats your heart and breathes your lungs and heals your wounds without any conscious effort from you. Feel the love that you are beneath all the stories and struggles and complications. Feel the infinite possibility that surrounds you in every moment, waiting for your recognition and invitation. As you go forward from this moment, carry with you the knowing that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are capable of creating beautiful changes in your life. Trust the process of your own unfolding. Be gentle with yourself as you learn and grow. Choose thoughts and words that lift you up rather than tear you down. Treat your body as the sacred temple it is. Open your heart to receive the abundance that wants to flow to you. Allow yourself to feel joy and happiness, not as rewards you have to earn, but as your natural birthright. The world needs what you have to offer. Your healing contributes to the healing of the planet. Your abundance allows you to be more generous and helpful to others. Your happiness spreads and touches everyone whose life you touch. You matter more than you know, and your willingness to grow and change creates ripples of positive change that extend far beyond what you can see. So speak those loving words to yourself. Choose those healing thoughts. Take those nurturing actions. Open to receive all the good that life wants to give you. Trust in your own infinite capacity for health, wealth, and happiness. You deserve all the love and joy and abundance that your heart can hold, and so much more. This is your time. This is your life. This is your opportunity to align with everything beautiful and good that wants to express through you. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to your healing. Say yes to your prosperity. Say yes to your happiness. You are so deeply loved, and you are worthy of every wonderful thing.